Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article, share on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever does actually see through with their threat. Sorry, I have a cute kitty right here. He's a good boy. Sorry. All right, trigger warning one. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and we do speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is something that is very much advised. All right, so we got new comments, so no stupid. I should probably bet the cat. What do you think, Mr. Meow? Meow. Meow. Sorry, he's so cute. Anyways, prepare yourselves for the stupid, all right? Some comments argue ESDs are a necessary option because positive only behavioral approaches such as PBS are ineffective for patients, citing literature indicating that PBS is not always effective for every patient in every situation, and pointing out that the panel agreed that the treatment options other than ESDs would not be adequate for all patients. Could y'all all hear me on this? Hear me on this. Use proper punctuation and get rid of the run on sentences. My poor grandma, God rest her soul, is spitting in her grave right now. Don't make her come out of there like a zombie and start cursing you out in German. She'll do it. Totally do it. God, that was nauseating to read. Sorry, not sorry. You can't sit there and constantly use, but we used PBS and it didn't work. We've been over this, Karen. No, you don't. In fact, you have told us in your own so called rebuttal of the 2006 report that you don't even know what positive behavioral reinforcement is. For God's sakes, we're in 2024 and you still think it's a theory. They use no positive behavioral supports. They use stick and carrot, the same shit that was used on us 90s kids. Did that curb any of our bad behaviors? Kids would literally, without pads, climb up the roof of their houses and jump off. I know, I've seen it. You think using punishment as a, in regards to spanking as a detriment stopped any of that? No, in fact, it could almost be argued that it became worse. It because now you're doing it as an act of defiance. So you're going to make it even bigger and more spectacular and end your ass in a hospital. Right? That's what this stuff feeds. Okay? Number 2, stop using PBS and positive behavioral reinforcement synonymously. This is why the JRC gets away with this shit. Because you are agreeing to go along with their terminology, and their terminology is not even accurate. Let me say it again. PBS is not a treatment program. It is it's an umbrella term that houses several different types of treatment programs. They are put underneath it because they are similar. It is a way to categorize different treatment programs. That's all. That's all that is. Okay? You're confusing people, and the JRC just feeds that. All right? Now, in regards to, but it doesn't work every single time. So obviously, we have to use the zap button for the times it doesn't work. Here's reality: nothing works 100%. Okay? Nothing works 100%. This is what I mean about this pie in the sky mentality. You know, the behaviors are going to happen. With proper treatment program and the right circle of support, you can bring it down to a baseline so that we're able to function and interact with society. However, they're never going to go away completely. Anyone who tells you that they have done that or that they can do that is selling you something. Okay? Let it be said for the billionth time, there is no cure. Behaviors are going to happen. Meltdowns are going to happen. Outbursts are going to happen because you know what? It's life. It's rough as shit out there. And the fact of the matter is, there are going to be situations when we are overwhelmed and in over our heads. Okay? It is not some kind of moral failing if we have a meltdown because it becomes too much. By the way, the number one cause for meltdowns is a pile-on of shit: psychological, physical, and other means of abuse, and sensory issues, and a whole bunch of crap that is getting ignored for this brainwashing bullshit. Okay? That's gonna happen. This is a reality that the world really needs to start to accept. There is no cure. You are never going to get away. You're never going to have no behaviors ever again because we're human, just like you neurotypicals are. And by the way, neurotypicals, you have outbursts too. Don't tell me you don't. Okay? Yeah, that. Use correct terminology. Stop with the run on sentences. It hurts my brain. And number three, no treatment works 100% of the time. That's not even a good way to actually discuss a form of treatment. Okay? Nothing works 100%. That's real life. That's real life. I'm going to have moments where I am so overwhelmed, I will go into one of my more violent towards inanimate objects meltdowns. I know this. It may be a year, 5 years, 10, 20, but I know eventually that it is coming because I live in reality. I know there may be times in my life that I will go into full autistic burnout. Okay, where all the worst traits of my diagnosis and my personality, not to mention the PTSD, all come out all at once. Okay, I understand these things. I am not going to sit here and have people screaming that because a treatment doesn't work 100% of the time, obviously torture is the answer, because that is not logical. The math isn't mathing. All right? The math isn't mathing. There's never going to be any kind of treatment program or pill or whatever quick fix they're trying to sell you this week that is going to stop all behaviors entirely forever. It's never going to happen. To try and use that as though it's an argument in favor of a torture device makes you batshit insane. If you want to know what evil looks like, there you go. Right? Parents, I need you to stop living in these fantasy worlds that all these people who are after your money or after your district money sells you. You can't be gullible when it comes to your kids. And you can't delude yourself either. Okay? Get that out of your head. Jesus Christ. One comment asserts that the FDA has erroneously clung to the notion that the effectiveness of PBS to treat SIB and AB is an absolute, and that the FDA was not forthright in the proposed rule because we treated PBS as though it was universally recognized as effective. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's talk about this first. First of all, it is an umbrella term. Stop! For the love of God. Stop using an umbrella term to discuss a treatment program unless you're speaking of its category. Okay? Number two, nobody says any treatment program is an absolute. This is real life. There's not that many real absolutes. Okay? No one at any state, way, shape, or form at any time, including the FDA, has ever told you it's absolute. No treatment program is. You can tell me all day that you want to, that but if you get device you don't, but I know at least 4 or 5 people who went through this hellhole who beg to differ. All right? Nothing is absolute when it comes to treatment programs. Okay? Because in the reality that we live in, nothing works 100% of the time. Nothing. Okay? There is no treatment program or medical device or pill that you could point me to and say, hey, Tiff, if you use this, all your autistic traits will magically disappear and you won't have behaviors anymore. Because it's bullshit. It's the same scammer bullshit like when they call pretending to be the IRS and you had better pay them now. It is that obvious and that bad. Okay? We said that it is considered the gold standard of care because it is. Also, regards, but it's not recognized universally as effective. Okay, who's abstaining from this conversation? Iran? North Korea, and the United States. These three countries are the ones who did not sign the Convention Against Torture of Disabled People and Elderly for the UN. Okay? But you can't say it because not all states, okay, move to Iran. I don't know what to tell you. It is universally accepted as the standard of care by every single treatment program out there worth its salt. Okay? Which is few and far between. It's getting even scarier out there, kids. But at the end of the day, Jesus Christ. It's literally considered the standard of care for autism treatment programs. It is literally undisputed. It is so undisputed that when we actually point out the errors in regards to ABA, we get screamed at by everyone and their goddamn mother when we do. Okay? It is the standard of care. It is the most recognized and used prevalent types of programs that are out there. Okay? But it's not, it can't be. It is. Okay? I have worked in this field. I'm not just an autistic, I have worked in this field. If you were to go to ARC right now, just down a little way, that about around that way, and you were to ask them what the standard of care is for autism, you go into their new autism services office that just opened up not about a couple of years ago and ask them what their standard of care is. Go to Burrell, the number one provider of disability services for autistic people in the state. Go ask Nova. Go ask East Seals. Go ask DCO. Go ask any of these places. See if they don't tell you that positive behavioral reinforcement is the standard of care. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. The matter of the fact is, it is universally accepted. We have more than receipts. We have everyone and their mother coming out from all over the world to tell these people how insane they are. Many of those people who signed that petition that helped us get that UN referendum with the special rapporteur on torture. You remember those folks, right? They all recognize this as standard of care. Again, it has its own issues, but at least they're not getting repeatedly shocked just below the lethal limit. It is literally the standard. But not everybody says that it's effective. Bitch, what do the numbers say? What do the numbers say? At this point, we have at least a little bit over 3 decades of data when it comes to positive behavioral supports, in particular, positive behavioral reinforcement. Okay? How much data do you need? Is 3 decades of data, including the most up to date and cutting edge, not good enough for you? And it's coming from Italy, Ireland, England, Scotland, Japan, China, some of the countries out in Africa, the Middle East. It is recognized as the standard of care universally all over the world? Yes. The data points that in regards to its success and its longevity, its numbers are far higher by a massive margin than the JRCs. In fact, we don't even know what the JRC success actually is and if there's longevity in their so called interventions because these people have no follow through, right? It is indeed effective when you get a kid in a proper treatment program because you got a actual full functional behavioral assessment done and go from there. The data speaks for itself. You can't pound your chest and continue to call it a theory anymore. For the fuck's sake, Karen, it's been 30 goddamn years. What do you mean there's no data and that it's not recognized as effective? You think the medical model would put that up as the standard of care if they believed that it wasn't effective? Are you smoking crack? Is crack what you smoke? Yeah, it is recognized universally as effective. The longevity of the results of those particular types of programs are beyond dispute. This is getting ridiculous. You all lied and lie and lie through your teeth. Because at the end of the day, these Kool-Aid drinkers will only accept something if it comes from the JRC, and everybody else is lying and out to get them. Somehow we're the problem and we're the ones not seeing things correctly. If literally the whole of planet Earth, the medical model, not just in the United States, but throughout the rest of the world, is against you and showing their results far higher than yours, then at the end of the day, it's not us that is the problem here. We're going to close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time, so you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you all here in a few minutes. Bye bye, everyone.